Welcome to YouTube and welcome back to Military Hub, where we bring you powerful stories from the world of defense, aviation, and military events across the globe. Today, we bring you a story that shook a nation. A tragedy that turned a routine training mission into one of the deadliest aviation disasters in Bangladesh's history. This is the heartbreaking and heroic story behind the 2025 Dhaka fighter jet crash. Cut to map of Bangladesh, zooming into Dhaka, with dramatic piano music in the background. It was Monday, July 21, 2025. The time was around 1:06 p.m. local time. At the Bangladesh Air Force Base Gurmitola, located in Dhaka, a standard routine training mission was scheduled to be carried out by an FT-7BGI, a two-seat trainer jet based on the Chinese Chengdu J-7 platform. On board was Flight Lieutenant Towkir Sagar, a dedicated and experienced pilot, known for his discipline and flight record. His mission was simple, a training sortie. Something he had done countless times before. But what happened next would change lives forever. Cut to visuals of Milestone School and College, Uttara, with dark cinematic overlay. Shortly after takeoff, just moments into the flight, the aircraft began to malfunction. Eyewitnesses later reported hearing unusual engine sounds and seeing smoke trailing from the aircraft. With split seconds to decide, and populated city blocks below him, the pilot made the ultimate sacrifice. Instead of abandoning the aircraft immediately, he attempted to steer it away from dense residential and commercial areas, hoping to prevent mass casualties. His final course brought the aircraft directly above the Milestone School and College campus in Uttara, one of Dhaka's busiest and most populated suburbs. And then tragedy struck. The aircraft crashed violently into the school compound, just as classes were in session. Students were attending lectures. Teachers were present. Within moments, the jet exploded upon impact, causing fires to erupt in multiple classrooms and buildings. Flight Lieutenant Sagar ejected, but due to the low altitude and rapid descent, the parachute deployment failed. He was rushed to the hospital but succumbed to his injuries shortly after. Cut to black and white photo of the pilot, respectful tone. He was only 28 years old. But the tragedy didn't end there. In one of the deadliest aviation-related incidents in Bangladesh's history, the crash claimed the lives of at least 25 students, a teacher, and the pilot himself. Some sources report the number to be as high as 31. More than 170 people were injured, many of them suffering severe burns and trauma. Several remain in critical condition. The entire nation was left in shock. Footage of emergency services, grieving families, national mourning flag lowering. Emergency responders rushed to the scene. Local residents, parents, school staff, and firefighters worked hand in hand to rescue the injured. Hospitals were overwhelmed, blood donation drives were launched across Dhaka. People prayed. People cried. And people asked how could this happen. Cut to statement by the Bangladesh Air Force and Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan. The Bangladesh Air Force issued an immediate statement confirming the crash and loss of the pilot. They announced the formation of a high-level investigation committee to determine the exact cause. Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan, while speaking to the press, acknowledged the tragedy and affirmed the aircraft's airworthiness. He reminded the public that despite the aircraft's age, strict maintenance schedules were followed. He urged against speculation and assured that the findings of the investigation would be made public. Cut to visuals of aircraft model, FT-7BGI Chengdu J-7. The FT-7BGI is a modernized version of the Chinese J-7, originally based on the Soviet MiG-21. These jets, while not cutting edge by modern stealth standards, are still used for training and defense operations in several countries. Bangladesh acquired these aircraft to train pilots for future platforms and tactical readiness. However, this incident raised serious concerns about the continued use of older generation jets and the risks associated with flying over densely populated areas. Cut to National Day of Mourning visuals, flowers, candles. In response to the tragedy, the interim chief advisor Muhammad Yunus declared a national day of mourning. Flags were flown at half-mast. Vigils were held across the country. The nation stood united in grief. International condolences poured in. India offered immediate medical aid and trauma support to Bangladesh. The global aviation and defense community also expressed solidarity, calling the pilot's actions an act of bravery under extreme pressure. Cut to footage of children lighting candles, school memorials. At Milestone School and College, what once was a place of learning had turned into a memorial site. Students who survived continue to recover physically and emotionally. Counselors have been deployed to assist children and families affected by the crash. Slow zoom on quote, "He died so others may live." What stands out most in this tragedy is the final decision made by Flight Lieutenant Towkir Islam Sagar. Instead of ejecting when the jet first began to fail, he chose to guide the aircraft away from crowded marketplaces and residential complexes, risking, and ultimately sacrificing, his own life in the process. His final act was one of selfless heroism, and his name will be remembered in the hearts of the Bangladeshi people forever. Music softens, slow fade-in logo of military hub. As we close this video, let us take a moment of silence for all the innocent lives lost, for the families grieving, and for the pilot who gave everything in the line of duty. We salute Flight Lieutenant Sagar for his courage, honor, and sacrifice. This has been Military Hub. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share this video in remembrance of those we lost, and leave your thoughts or prayers in the comments below. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and always remember the silent heroes behind the uniform.